This podcast was made possible by Hot Source Yoga. Hot Source Yoga is by far our favorite yoga studio, featuring a variety of hot yoga and hot Pilates classes, and they even offer childcare. Seriously, we feel like $1 million after these classes. They also offer a 30-hour hot Pilates teacher training online, so you can get certified from the comfort of your own home.
The founder, Nicole, is so inspiring. She's a life coach miracle worker who has helped hundreds of women and girls empower themselves to make their dreams a reality. Nicole offers sessions in person or online. Ready to make your own dreams come true? Use code SHAMELESS for $20 off your first coaching session at NicoleDuke.com, and be sure to visit HotSourceYogaStudio.com to see why it's our latest obsession. I'm Amy, sex educator, sex and relationship coach, and sex shop owner.
And I'm April, VP of an international high-end pleasure products company and boss queen sex toy mogul. We're best friends who make our own rules about who we are as sexual beings.
With everything from how to be a badass in the bedroom to top tips for bringing your relationship to the next level, we have something just for you.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Don't forget to head on over to our website at shamelesssex.com for more. And for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code SHAMELESSPP in all caps at purepleasureshop.com.
You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our sex podcast collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody out there.
This episode, so fun fact, everyone, when we started Shameless Sex, April and I said that first of all, it was a passion project. We did not anticipate it being what it is today. Second of all, we said that we always said one episode a week. We said 3 of those episodes would just be us, and it'd be one guest a month.
That's what we said?
We originally said that.
Really?
That was like in the original plan, because we thought it would be hard, difficult to get guests, but guests just, like, they fall in our lap.
We also were thinking, I think, along the lines of having to have guests in person.
Yeah, because
for
we
a
were
while.
in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
And we didn't really understand how to do the recording over the ye old telly. And then it flipped. It actually became, we have guests like for like 6 or 7. We never record with just us anymore.
I don't even
so
remember
rare.
the last time we recorded just us. It's been a long time.
Yeah, so this one is just us, everyone. So stay, if you don't love us, well, you probably wouldn't be listening. So welcome to Just Us on Shameless Sex. This episode is on the prostate because it's Movember.
It's Movember. It's Prostate Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Which sounds kind of... You see people with mustaches all the time, shaving their facial hair, and it sounds kind
during November.
I always ask people, how do the mustaches raise awareness for prostate health? And it's just asking those questions.
Yeah.
What about your mustache?
Well, I think that that in itself, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think that it's a conversation piece that creates the conversation about prostate health and awareness.
And what are those folks actually knowing about prostates?
I don't know if they're even knowing shit. So
Exactly.
That's why they should listen to our podcast.
That's why we're here. We're here right now for you.
And then also there's the thing is that, prostates are, penis owners have prostates. So this is belongs to penis owning bodies and
The P-spot.
Yeah, P-spot. So Movember might be kind of a gendered thing, but we are running a contest that's not gendered. That starts today. So this is coming out on November 12th. This is Tuesday, as usual, 2019. Our contest is on Instagram. If you're not following our Instagram, you should go. It's at Shameless Sex Podcast on Instagram. The contest is for 1 week. Chip, what the hell do people do for our contest?
Oh, my prostate. So pretty much you just have to, in classic Shameless Sex style, we've been doing these right on a piece of paper, so you don't have to identify yourself. You can stay completely anonymous. Facts that we're going to give you today in this podcast about the prostate. It could be health facts or pleasure facts. There's going to be a lot of interesting little tidbits and biscuits, cookies that we're going to give you today. Delicious snacks about the prostate. And then for 1 week, we're going to obviously get these posts, hopefully from you out there, and we're going to select 3 winners. We've got some really awesome prizes totaling $400+, the grand prize. We've got a second runner up, a third. So enter at IG And maybe I'm not doing a great job of describing it, but check
to our
out our Instagram to see what I'm talking about.
It's all in there, and the photo can be anonymous. You'll listen to this podcast. We'll give you sex facts. You can write them down or choose one. All you have to do is write it on a piece of paper. You take a photo of yourself, hold the paper up. But here's the difference between this one and the other ones. You do it from the nose down in the photo, but you have to have a mustache. Now, you don't have to actually have a mustache on your face. You can have a homegrown mustache. You can draw a mustache on your face. You can draw a mustache on a piece of paper. You can have a felt mustache. You can draw a mustache on your finger. And you can do whatever you want.
I must ask you a question.
But April must ask you a question.
No, I'll shave it for later.
That was cute. You shave it in December. So go to our Instagram to learn more. It's really easy. It literally take you to enter this contest other than listening to this episode, 5 minutes. And just the one other kicker, for the grand prize, you must live in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
Because for the items to ship to you, but the runners-up prizes can be to international
We're giving away
folks.
some yummy hot octopus products and some Uber. We're giving away a lot of cool stuff.
And we're giving away Charlie Glickman's book, and not just written by Charlie Glickman. This is Charlie Glickman's book, The Ultimate Guide to Prostate Pleasure, Erotic Explorations for Men and Their Partners, also written by Aislinn Emirzian. This book is incredible. This is what inspired this campaign for Prostate Awareness Month. Is one of the best books on the prostate, in my opinion. Definitely go check it out. Again, The Ultimate Guide to Prostate Pleasure, Erotic Explorations for Men and Their Partners. Which brings me to, they have that at Pure Pleasure. And I mean we. Pure Pleasure, everyone. As you heard, I announced that we actually sold the retail store. I own that with my mom. And that's where April and I both got our start in the sex toy industry. We sold the retail store on October 1st, but we still own the website, purepleasureshop.com, and we just revamped it. Our website is gorgeous. It's new, modern, it's beautiful. I've been on my computer about 40 hours this week working on it. I felt like a robot. I don't know how people work on their computers for so long. I mean, I do it often, but usually I have to do it for like 3 hours a day. So go check it out, purepleasureshop.com. All of our listeners get 15% off with coupon code SHAMELESSSEX. And you can get this book, Charlie Glickman's book, and we'll talk about some other prostate toys too that are all available on purepleasureshop.com.
And I do want to point out that this episode isn't just a bunch of boring facts. There's some really juicy, awesome nuggets of information for everyone out there. So whether you're a prostate owner, prostate admirer, or you just know folks with prostates, which we all do, this is a podcast for you. So keep listening. Stay tuned. We've got some good stuff for you.
And we're talking about prostate pleasure and health. This is important things. If you're like, and you don't want to dabble in prostate pleasure, but if you own a prostate or know someone who does and you care about their health, the health parts are really important. And we'll give you some facts about that. But actually, prostate health issues are actually pretty common.
They on the rise.
Woo, yes, they be on the rise. Okay, next question. You ready?
I can't wait.
This person is contacting us from the land down under. Hello, Australia. I've been in a long-term committed relationship with my girlfriend.
Mate.
Good day, mate. The mate has been in a long-term committed relationship with mate's girlfriend for 9+ years, and recently our sex lives have dramatically declined, and my partner is quite tired after work, working long hours. We both were very sexual people. Myself, I still am, and I've tried to spice things up with lingerie as well with toys, and it doesn't seem to bring back the fire that we had. What can we do? So I want to bring this up because next week's episode that's coming out on the 19th, we just did with the women of Somatica that wrote the Core Desire about Core Desires, their new book called Coming Together. That is all about, they're actually saying, when libido disappears, quite often it's not a hormonal thing. Yes, there's a habituation piece like Esther Perel talks about. And for this person, I also recommend read the book Mating in Captivity. Again, they have it on Pure Pleasure's website.
Yes, Audible. You could get it
on Audible. Yeah, it's a really helpful thing to learn about what happens with habituation partnership. But what Celeste and Danielle say, and it'll be on next week's episode, they talk about oftentimes it's just people not knowing what it is they like or want, and so that's one thing, like the deeper things of what they like and want, and then not knowing how to express that. And they say that they often see libido comes back when that is uncovered.
I think like the getting home and being tired thing is a challenge. I understand that. It's also relational. Yeah. When you relate getting home and your bed and you want to sleep, like when I get back from really long work trips, the last thing I want to do is conversate and am not excited. I don't mind sex because I relate some of my relaxation to orgasm. So I look forward to that if it's in the book for my partner and I. However, I will say that if their partner and this listener's partner that wrote in is just relating coming home to sleep and decompression, they need to probably snap out of that. You know, it's like me relating my stress relief to a glass of wine, which I'm not drinking right now.
Poor you.
Poor me. I relate that. And once I break that mold and that connection between stress relief and a glass of wine, that's when I'm okay. There's a lot of other ways that I can relieve stress. This person also, maybe a good way to relieve stress is to romp around with your partner and get out of the brain. And I know you might be tired and exhausted, but kind of tune in and check in and have some, it doesn't even have to be sex, but some intimacy, touch. And I love what you're talking about with the core desires stuff. That's talking about the core desires for 20 minutes. Can we just talk about that for 20 minutes, babe, when they get home? You know, you could offer that as a bit of a suggestion to this person. Hopefully they're interested in also changing that. That's a question of mine, though. Does this partner have interest in shifting?
Yeah, you know, are you two talking about it? Is it clear? Are you just going to buy lingerie and toys, but you two haven't really even talked about what's going on here? And also, as April's talking about, like, you know, the coming home and maybe being tired and not your partner not being interested. What are the needs that person needs to kind of clear first, like the self-care stuff? Do they need to
take a shower?
Yeah, take a shower, take a bath. Do they need to have you hold them for 10 minutes, and then maybe some sort of sexual interaction can be on the table? And it sounds like, you know, having the conversations about it. What's really here? What do we desire? What do I want more of? And then also, what do we need to go into that space, and how do we navigate that space in a way that doesn't have goals and doesn't have pressure? So yeah, again, definitely checking out the next week's episode. Also Jaya's episode, the one on erotic blueprints. I think it's number 126.
And what about an app to help you?
Oh yeah, this app that we are absolutely in love with. We get this all the time. Like, we have this sex question right now. We get these emails all the time. Not just with low libido, but with folks who are wanting to spice things up and feel more desire and get into their bodies. People are constantly moving around and go. I know we most certainly are. And we found something that we are obsessed with called Dipsea.
You can take it everywhere. It's an app on your phone. Download Dipsea. It's DIPSEA. And it's for women. They're short, sexy stories. So it's not, you know, a 2-day investment of time. And they have 3 new stories every week. So it's fresh. It keeps it sexy, fresh. You'll definitely get turned on.
I'm someone who getting into my inner turn on quite often is a process. I scored as an energetic in number 1 in Jaya's thing. And so hearing things that are erotic, it kind of brings me into the mindset, and especially if it's a hot, spicy story. So I recommend checking this out for sure. April and I are huge fans. So Dipsea is now offering our listeners a way to make arousal even easier to tap into with a 30-day free trial when you go to dipseastories.com/shameless. That's a 30-day free trial when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/shameless. It is a game changer. Definitely check it out. And one last thing for this listener. If you go to our website, shamelesssex.com, you sign up for our newsletter, you automatically get 60 sex tips from us. I forgot that's on there. That's
great.
So that's another thing too. Go sign up for a newsletter. We only send like 3 newsletters a year. So I probably should do more.
Subscribe.
Go check it out. And then you'll get all these lists of like creative ideas.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you can help with some more of those. So we can send you some more things. Cool. We could probably say so much more about that, but definitely check that out, listener. Thank you for writing in.
Ooh, I wanted to just give a quick shout out. Yeah. Amy and I got nominated for an award from XBiz. The XBiz is it's our industry publication. It's also, they have a sexual health magazine that is a consumer magazine.
They also run that trade show that we go to every September.
They do.
In Brooklyn.
Yes, they do. The Sex Expo. So we were nominated for Community Figures of the Year, the first ever in history of the XBiz Executive Awards that 2 people have been nominated for 1 award. So we can hold hands if we win.
Yeah.
Or high five. I just want to give a shout out to XBiz for
Community
the nomination.
Figures of the Year. Nice. We're against some heavy hitters, man. Some good ones in there.
I know.
Brent from Aneros. Oh, it's on.
Are we allowed to say his name?
Well, yeah, I use Brent from Aneros.
Speaking of Aneros, perfect prostate toys, which we're going to talk about.
Dive into the prostate.
Yes.
All right, you want to start with fact number 1? We're starting with health. And then we'll get into the juicy stuff.
Quick question for you.
Yes.
And I think I know the answer. Perhaps our listeners don't. Have you ever touched a prostate?
Yes, I have touched a prostate. I've touched a prostate with a finger on one human. I've touched a prostate. Maybe I touched that person's prostate too, but wasn't intending to. But I also use
An accidental prostate?
No, I did pegging. So
Oh.
that's why it's more like I don't know if I was using fingers on that person before, but that was more to like open up the ass. It wasn't to get to the prostate. So, have you touched a prostate?
Yes, and I will say only one in the history of my sexual escapades. So I will say my takeaway that I remember, besides the amount of pleasure that the receiver was experiencing, because he absolutely was just like super turned on, and I was turned on by his being turned on. The feeling of the rectum going in was really cool. It felt like really kind of
You're talking about the anal,
the anal,
rectum, the anal canal,
the anal canal,
like the tightness of the anal canal.
Yes,
Yeah.
going in, but no, also not the tightness, the just like the way it felt. It was not smooth. It's very. There's a lot of ridges in there.
Well, that's you're talking about oh my gosh,
It's pretty interesting to feel. I
Yeah.
recommend it. It's really cool.
It's cool to
And
go
I'm a
scope an
person
ass.
I am a germaphobe, FYI. So that was for me a hump to get over, and I
Literally.
would do it. I would do it again. I loved it. I loved
Oh,
it.
and you can also use, if it's like using your fingers, you can use gloves. You can use
Yes.
black latex
Yes.
or non-latex
That
gloves.
could be sexy with some lube on it.
Yeah.
Gotta have the lube and have some trim nails, because you could damage the rectal tissue if you have long, snaggy nails.
We're huge fans, as you've heard, of Uber Lube. Again, they have that at purepleasureshop.com. And actually, you'll hear, we'll talk a little more about that later on the podcast, where you can get directly from Uber Lube, but it's a silicone lube. We love silicone for anal play because it's long lasting and the ass is not really lubricate itself so well. So,
But
very
Uber
helpful.
Lube will last only some silicone lubes.
They get greasy.
Well, they get greasy, and 3 days later, after you've taken 3 showers,
Yeah.
sometimes 4, it's still there, and
Yeah.
you're bummed. Uber Lube doesn't do that. It doesn't last that long. So I just want to point that out, because that's
your
like
bum is bummed.
yes,
My bum's super bummed.
yeah, your bum is bummed.
You didn't buy Uber Lube, so I'm bummed. Okay, you want to start with health? So we're start with health.
Yeah.
So fact numero uno: get your hormones checked. Low testosterone can increase your risk for prostate cancer. This is actually mentioned in last week's ED episode. This is what he said. Dr. C said. He said that so a lot of folks who have low testosterone are more likely to get prostate cancer, and a lot of folks aren't getting their hormones checked. So if you feel like your libido is low or other various symptoms of having potential low testosterone, and also I think he says that just everyone who is late 30s and up should just regularly get their hormones checked here and there to just know what's going on in their bodies.
Absolutely. Your hormones can be an indicator of so many other things, and it can also lead to the reasons you're depressed or not feeling super motivated or not sleeping correctly. There's a lot of different things linked to hormones. I just asked my dad after we were recording that podcast with Dr. C about his hormones.
You're meaning, do you still get erections?
I was like, did you? No, I was just asking. I was like, so Dad, have you had your T levels counted, checked and counted? And he said, oh yeah, I've been low on that. That explains a lot of
the
my.
other thing that Dr. C said was that your lifespan gets shortened too with low testosterone.
Yes, it does.
But so that is a fact as well. But for prostate cancer, really, this is a big thing to monitor your body, take good care of your body. If you want to learn more about what Dr. C said, check out last week's ED episode.
Okay.
So fact number 2.
Fact number 2, the prostate feels like the tip of your nose. So that cartilage tissue that you can feel at the tip of your nose, while the rest of the rectum feels like the softness of your cheek.
It's a little more spongy over there.
But a little bit more, there's like some ridges in there.
And there may be some ridges and things. And this is something that Charlie Glickman talks about in his book, and Charlie in Aislinn, The Ultimate Guide to Prostate Pleasure. And he talks more about exactly how to find the prostate, what it feels like, how it changes with arousal.
And the prostate isn't as deep as you think. It's not super far into the rectum. It's about 3/4 of your fingers. Now, it depends on how long your fingers are. But I'd say if your fingers are average, it's about 3/4 of the length of your longest finger. Okay, y'all, time for a quick break. This podcast is made possible by some of our favorite things. Uberlube is one of them. It's a luxurious lubricant great for all kinds of sex. It's less likely to throw off your pH than most other lubes. Seriously? There are hundreds of doctors who recommend Uberlube to their patients, whether they want to make their hot sex even hotter or for folks who are experiencing dryness. Amy, I know you love Uberlube too. What do you love?
I love Uberlube because it has no flavor, no scent, and it feels absolutely amazing on my body. In fact, I want it everywhere. I even use it in my hair for my hair frizzies, for massage, and it can also prevent chafing. Oh, and the bottle is gorgeous. It's discreet and looks like a beautiful cosmetic product, so you can leave it on your nightstand shamelessly. To learn why we think it's the best lube on the planet, go check out uberlube.com. Use coupon code SHAMELESSSEX and you get 10% off and free shipping. Again, that's uberlube.com, code SHAMELESSSEX and 10% off and free shipping.
This podcast was also made possible by OMGS.com. OMGS is a research-based online program that helps you add more sexy things to your menu. OMGS studied thousands of vulva owners to find out how they orgasm and then made tasteful and inspiring short videos to show you techniques on how to pleasure yourself or another vulva. Amy, tell us why you love OMGS.
I've been recommending OMGS to my clients for years, and it has changed their lives. Whether you're already having good orgasms and want to have even better orgasms, or perhaps you want to explore more variety in your playtime, or even learn how to pleasure someone else's vulva, OMGS will have something for you. With 2 seasons, one all about internal and the other all about external techniques, it's better than any book or DVD that money can buy. To learn more, visit omgs.com/shameless, and our listeners get $5 off. That's omgs.com/shameless. You get $5 off. Go check it out now. And back to the show. Most penis owners who live to their old age will experience some sort of changes in their prostate health. So this is interesting. What happens as penis owning individuals age is that often their prostates, their ears, and their noses get bigger. And so this is just something that is a natural part of life. And I don't know what old age can mean. We're going to say, let's say, 60 and up.
I thought it's because they lose fatty tissue in their faces.
Probably.
That's what I think about, the ears and the nose. That's what I read.
Why a nose would get bigger, or is the face getting smaller, though?
The face is getting smaller. That's why the nose and the ears are looking like they get bigger.
So they're actually not getting bigger. They just look like they're getting bigger?
Apparently.
Well, we need to Google this shit too. That's okay. We'll leave it on there. It's fine. Doesn't really matter. But this is, so one thing that is the bigger piece here is that the most common issue is actually an enlarged prostate. So it's not actually cancer, although prostate cancer is common. And the American Cancer Association says 1 in 6 may lead to cancer. And this is for folks who own prostates. Whereas, again, the most common thing here is an enlarged prostate. So we're not saying that everyone who has a prostate issue in their older age, it's going to be cancer. It's actually more likely to just be an enlarged prostate that can have its own health stuff and health issues. But 1 in 6 might lead to cancer.
I got it. Cartilage continues to grow until the day you die, but you also do lose facial fat from your face. So in combination with the loss of facial fat, your ears actually do get longer from gravity. Damn it.
Damn you, gravity. So wait, it's not just men? It's not just penis owners?
No.
Like my nose?
Yeah, your noses and cartilage continues to grow until the day you die. And not only does cartilage grow, but the earlobes elongate from gravity. So that makes the ears look even larger. Great. I already thought I had an ear complex.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay, we got hair.
In some cultures, that long earlobe is real hot.
Well, my ears are really good nibbling ears because they'll see how dangly they are. Dangly.
I can't see them.
Do you have attached earlobes? Oh, you do. Yours aren't dangly.
You're hilarious. And then one last factor just about that one is just also the prostate cancer, just so you all know, is the most common cancer among penis-owning individuals other than skin cancer.
Oh, wow. That's scary.
That's super scary.
That's super scary. So it's important
to know more.
To know more about your prostate and to obviously get that testosterone checked along with doing regular prostate exam and accessing the prostate.
Yep.
All right.
Which brings us to this point right here.
So we learned from research that regular stimulation of the prostate may reduce health risks as it increases blood flow and circulation to that area.
And there are lots of ways to do this, which brings us to pleasure.
Pleasure of the prostate.
So there's this toy that was designed... Prostate powered.
Pleasure of the prostate.
Prostate power.
Yeah. This song can now be downloaded on iTunes.
We're the weirdest. Okay. So there's this toy called the Aneros. Well, Aneros is the brand. They do a number of toys. If you're brand new to prostate toys, we recommend using the MGX, which is their very kind of beginner model. Brand from Aneros, shout out to you. And again, they have this at Pure Pleasure. You go to purepleasureshop.com and you can purchase all of the things that we were talking about. So the Aneros was originally designed for health, which we were just talking about, with the idea that if you keep your prostate strong by doing these exercises, you essentially do Kegels of the ass with an Aneros product in, where you can either tighten and release and it massages the prostate for you and works it, or you can just have it in. And they realize that it's actually pleasurable too. So it's not just for health. Now it's keep your prostate strong and keep the circulation going there. So maybe you can decrease the chances of having issues with it. Or you can also just have it in, and when you have an orgasm while it's in, it can enhance your orgasm, because the prostate is a motherfucking powerhouse for pleasure.
That also is a good point to bring up. If you do have too short of fingers to access your prostate, your partner's prostate, you could buy an Aneros toy, and that's a great way to provide prostate stimulation if your fingers won't do the trick.
I think the Enjoy, NJOY Fun Wand is also really good at getting to it. And you can
That's
use the
stainless
Enjoy
steel.
Yeah, and the
It's
Pure
nice.
Wand can get to it too. They're nice and long. Enjoy Pure Wand as well. They're good prostate toys.
Another fun fact about prostate pleasure is that prostate orgasms are often best accessed when other genital touch is combined during anal penetration. Meaning, rusty trombone, I think yes.
What's the rusty trombone?
Where you're licking this is licking, but you could use your own imagination, licking the anal opening and then
Sucking the cock at the same time? How?
No, you use your hand on the where the cock is, and you're licking the butt.
Wow.
I'm doing the motion for her so she understands.
I see what you're doing. I was like, hey, you don't have two mouths. How can you do this? I
No,
understand.
your mouth is...
Why is it rusty?
Because...
You're playing the trombone and you're licking the butt, and it's the
I don't know why it's called the rusty trombone. I don't make this shit up.
Because of poop?
Or maybe I did. Probably.
I don't know. Oh.
Anyway, aside from the rusty trombone, this accessing the genitals, because it can create an erection when you start tapping into the prostate region. So you can naturally just start to hand job, stroke, blow job, all of the access.
All the things. Well, and so, yeah, this is what this is saying is for folks who are saying, that they have prostate orgasms, they're essentially saying it's usually not just a finger on my prostate by itself or a sex toy on my prostate by itself. It usually means that their penis or their balls or their nipples or some other stimulation going at the same time, and that heightens it. Or you can look at the prostate stimulation is already heightening the other stimulation. So I like to look at it that way, as like, all the other genital touch is something we're doing. We add the prostate to it, and it becomes like the 2.0 version of the blow job or the hand job or the sex, and just adding this extra sensation there that can and lead to what people describe, which I think is another fact too. That it's actually described more as the prostate orgasms are often described as fuller, longer, and more intense than genital-only orgasms.
Ooh.
Meaning just by touching a penis, there's an orgasm there. But by touching a penis and the prostate at the same time, so combining that and adding the prostate to the touch, that this is when people describe that, oh my God, that mind-blowing full-body orgasm. So if you're thinking about wanting to enhance your orgasms or your lover's orgasms,
What do you
some
think
prostate to it.
The best way? Okay, so let's say, because I think the prostate, for someone that's never tapped into prostate stimulation and they have a partner, or they don't have a partner, they really want to experience it after they hear this podcast. Because it could get clinical and feel weird if you just are like, okay, I'm going to go touch my prostate, or can you touch my prostate, right? There's got to be a sexy way to get in there. And I think like if you're already aroused kind of and relaxed is probably the best way to engage in prostate stimulation instead of just kind of sitting there and, you're going to want to clench. Like it, for me, I'm just relating it to my anal experience where I was always so nervous and I would just clench up because it is a very untapped zone, especially for some folks that are totally unaware of any butt play from before. They've never had anything near their bum. So I would recommend, and coming from my own experience with a prostate owner that had a little bit of experience, to be relaxed and maybe slightly aroused in other ways if you can, so you're not distracted and it feels not like you're clinically, accessing the prostate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
It can get a little weird.
Yeah,
awkward.
you definitely, yeah. I mean, it's a journey, right?
Yes.
It's not like, let's have a prostate quickie where we only have 3 minutes. I'm going to get because you're already
Bend
having
over.
to deal with, relaxing the ass like this. And if you don't know anything about anal play, like anal play goes hand in hand with this. So go listen to our Anal 101 episodes. We've done a number of them so you can learn how to deal with that. Because here's another fun fact. The prostate is best accessed anally, and it's up and in towards the belly button. So we already talked about how it's about 3/4 of a finger's length, depending on the finger and the person that's being penetrated. But it's accessed anally, so through the anal canal, as April was talking about, and towards the belly button. So you kind of curve your fingers up towards the belly button there to get to it. Now, when you're going in through the anal canal, you got to use a lot of lube. You got to relax the muscles. This can take in itself to get to the prostate. That could be 5-10 minutes to just relax the ass and get there. So it's more of like an added bonus in a journey when you have some time, maybe some dark towels in case you get some traces, or shower accessible because poop does happen sometimes, but it's not stored in the rectum. So it's like, a lot of times it doesn't. It's more often not that it actually doesn't.
And you could call the P spot the G spot of a male-bodied human. We don't want to say that it's exactly the same because obviously one is accessed anally, and the P spot is composed of the same tissue, the same embryological tissue as the G spot. So it's like that squishy, spongy sort of tissue. But that feels similar to the tip of your nose, as we said before. Although the G spot's a little, as you mentioned, a little less deep than the P spot.
Yeah, it's not as far. Neither of them are up and in, and 5 miles in down the canal.
No,
but then both of them are curved up, kind of more towards the belly button to access it.
Come hither.
And if you want to learn more about the techniques, again, go check out Charlie and Aislin's book, The Ultimate Guide to Prostate Pleasure. Also, Charlie guested on our podcast. Was he guest on number 11? It was so long ago.
It was in the beginning for sure. It's in the first 20 episodes.
And he talked all about prostate play.
He did, and it was a really great episode. And he's a lovely human being. I love him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's absolutely incredible. And he also did, I think in the last 6 months, he just came on to talk about just an Anal 101 episode. So again, they go hand in hand. Definitely worth checking out. There's so much more that we can share about this, but we're going to keep this episode short and sweet because on Instagram, we're saying this is your homework to go listen to this episode. So we don't want to make it too long. We gave you some facts. You can go dive in, explore your prostate, explore someone else's. Please enter our contest, though. The more, the merrier. It's fun. And one of the cool things about this contest, the people that enter are part of the education. Because what we'll do is we'll use those photos, and you keep your eyes out of it, so it'll be anonymous. But we'll use them in our stories and maybe even on our main page of Instagram, and that will educate other people about prostate play. So be a part of the Shameless Sex revolution.
Yes, this is the real Movember. We're giving people juicy information and a mustache. So
no mustache rides?
Maybe those
April
will come
said she's
later.
Gonna give you all a mustache ride.
I'm gonna get my mustache ready. I think it's gonna be a Fu Manchu.
Ooh, you're gonna look really nice with one of those.
And I'm gonna shave one for Legend too.
So you're gonna shave his whole body,
except for the mustache.
Or just shave his face.
You're gonna see. I'm gonna surprise you with a nice image of this.
When I was at the beach, I saw this dog that was a total lion dog. Like it was like a poodle that was awkwardly shaved, but it had the long fur in its face and its tail. And I was like, I love your dog's lion hairdo. She's like, oh no, it's not lion. I just didn't finish cutting it. But it's so awesome.
Legend. It's a little too cold for him to be totally shaved right now.
I know. It's getting chilly out there.
Well, listeners, we love you so much. Thank you for being, as Amy said, part of the Shameless Sex Revolution. We'll see you next Tuesday. Ciao for now.
Don't forget to head on over to our website at shamelesssex.com for more. And for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code SHAMELESSPP in all caps at purepleasureshop.com.